Right now, across social media timelines worldwide, a distinctively energetic sound is commanding billions of views. High-production dance challenges are bleeding out from glowing screens and filling massive sold-out arenas. Before tracing the mechanics of this global takeover, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. The Philippines has always possessed a deep reservoir of world-class vocalists. Flawless pitch and powerhouse belting are standard fixtures in nearly every local singing competition or neighborhood karaoke setup. But for decades, the country's domestic music industry remained largely isolated, struggling to export that raw talent to the international stage. To understand why, we have to look back at the 1970s. This era gave rise to original Filipino music, or OPM. Writers and performers began chronicling the daily realities, struggles, and romances of local life, turning the genre into a kind of national diary. The defining characteristic of these Tagalog and English ballads was hugot, a style of storytelling defined by deep, emotional vulnerability. It was music designed to pull at the heartstrings, prioritizing raw sentiment over highly produced spectacle. Because OPM was so focused on intimate cultural resonance, the local industry lacked the strategic packaging and manufacturing infrastructure required to export that identity beyond its own borders. That isolation began to crack as Filipino entertainment companies analyzed the economic logic of the Korean wave. South Korea had successfully converted its pop culture into a highly lucrative, state-backed soft power export. To replicate that reach, the Philippine industry adopted the rigors of global idol culture. They took that raw vocal talent and emotional storytelling and funneled it into the P-pop trainee model, a system of grueling vocal coaching, media training, and intense synchronized dance choreography. Groups like SB19 and BINI led this transition. Their presentation rivals top-tier international acts, focusing on a highly polished, visually striking aesthetic. Rather than abandoning their roots to appease foreign markets, these groups retained their distinct cultural heritage. They actively wove Tagalog lyrics, local slang, and indigenous folklore into heavy, modern beats. The creation of modern P-pop industrialized Filipino culture, making it competitive on the global stage. Entering the global market meant going up against legacy Western record labels and East Asian conglomerates, entities with marketing budgets that local Philippine production companies simply could not match. Fortunately, the landscape of music distribution had flattened. Platforms like TikTok and YouTube provided a digital backdoor, removing the financial and geographic barriers that traditional radio and television gatekeepers used to enforce. When groups released tracks with highly choreographed hooks, like Gento or Salamin Salamin, they were built for short-form video. These infectious crazes were easily replicated, sparking exponential shares. Because algorithms prioritize user retention over paid placements, these acts began dominating screens thousands of miles away. By leveraging the algorithm, the internet neutralized the financial monopolies of major global labels. P-pop was now competing strictly on the merit of its bargal execution. But raw virality alone cannot sustain a multi-year global ascent. The real engines driving P-pop's staggering metrics are the hyper-organized fan bases, specifically communities like SB19's Ateen and BINI's Blooms. These groups operate with the precision and structure of decentralized digital marketing agencies. These fandoms coordinate massive global streaming parties to boost chart positions, utilize platforms like Weavers to mobilize voters for international awards, and even pool their own money to fund billboard campaigns in major foreign cities. This borderless, intense logistical coordination generates undeniable data. It creates a volume of noise so loud that legacy music institutions and international charts are forced to recognize their presence. P-pop's commercial milestones are shared victories. They are driven by a mobilized, fiercely loyal community that simply refuse to let the global industry ignore their artists. This digital groundswell quickly translated into real-world historic milestones. BINI secured a performance slot at Coachella, while SB19 dominated the top ranks of Billboard's hot trending songs. Institutional recognition followed the audience growth. Major players like Universal Music Group began signing distribution deals with local labels, and organizations like the IFPI rolled out the first ever official Southeast Asia charts to accurately track this massive new volume. Institutional validation has also arrived at home. The government recently enacted the Philippine Creative Industries Development Act, a legislative move mandating structural funding and international trade support for these cultural exports. As the audience scales, the ultimate test for these artists will be their ability to integrate slick global music trends without diluting the distinct Filipino flavor and language that earned them their initial following. P-pop now functions as a vital engine of cultural diplomacy. It proves that music does more than entertain. It tells the world exactly who a people are and how far they are willing to go.